Hello? It's like, you can always talk about something.
Yes! Yes! I'm gonna tell my tale, come on. Listen, yeah. Listen, 'cause I was born alone.
I got my Twitter.
What were you saying?
I had what was it? Josh Hawley, the guy that was like making stink about the election, the senator from Missouri.
Okay.
I called him a media whore.
Oh,
I'm thinking, who's? They're not gonna. I mean, it's just me.
yeah.
And then like, I think it usually causes that like somebody on that side has to like, they have to make a complaint.
Did it happen real quickly though?
Yeah,
See, it's weird.
yeah. It was like within 5 minutes.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, I didn't even cuss. I just said media whore, and I used all caps. So.
You yelled. Is that
Maybe,
what you yelled?
Maybe when it becomes unsuspended, just change it. Redo it with not all caps.
I don't even know how. Like I've emailed them, and they're like they don't even respond. So
Oh,
Yeah.
so are you like banned?
on my personal one, yeah. I mean, it still says suspended. My Austin Food magazine and my other one is still up. But
Well,
I
don't
tried
say
to start
anything
another
there.
one. Yeah, yeah.
Well, here, let's hop in. Welcome, Hayden Walker,
Yeah.
to the
it going?
podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. Welcome.
Absolutely.
Austin Food Magazine.
Yes, sir.
This is your jam. All digital now.
All digital. Been all digital since 2015.
And have you been there all along?
Yes, I've been from the beginning.
From the beginning. What's the starting date?
Well, let's just see. We don't have. I couldn't really put a finger on that,
Yeah.
but I do remember. At one point, we were called Austin Food Style Magazine,
Food style.
and because the reason why is because the original publisher had another magazine called Austin Lifestyle, and so she wanted this whole like, bridging of like the two brands to sound very similar. And I was just like, I don't know what food style. I mean, I know what that is, but I think it's very confusing.
Sure.
And then she's like, no. So anyway, and then when she left, my business partner and I were just said, well, let's just be Austin Food Magazine. It's just very cut short and
To the
clean.
point.
Thank you. And then we did that, and then we did 2 issues, and then after 2 printed issues, we decided, it's very expensive to print. And
So that quickly.
yeah, I mean, I had another job at the time,
Right.
and like so trying to sell ads and then write content and then produce a publication, I was just like, okay, well, at some point I got to sleep.
Yeah.
And then fitting that in between everything else, I just told him, it's like, well, let's just do digital. Let's just do a blog. If I mess something up, I can go fix it. That way, oh man, we have to issue a retraction if we print something wrong or if somebody piss somebody off. So blogs seem to be the way to go.
Awesome. Have you seen American Playboy?
I don't know.
The Hugh Hefner story?
Oh no, I need to see that.
It's great. Yeah, it goes kind of along with what you were just talking about.
Okay.
The creation of the magazine. and
Right.
everything. Yeah. It's a good
Yeah.
movie. Or
I
good
wish
show.
I wish I had that type of charisma.
Yeah.
Walk around in a bathrobe all day with girls around me.
Well, I
This
mean,
guy
you think
does.
you think
he could see. I could see him doing it.
yeah, I could probably pull that off. But you think about it, you think about the story of Hugh Hefner, and that's what you think about, right?
Right.
You think about the parties and whatnot. But I mean, you watch that show and it goes so much more in depth,
Yeah.
to who that man really was, and it's
Right.
actually a really great story. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I could admire some, despite whatever anybody. Oh, it's sexist. It's like no, like he built a business and an empire.
Yeah, he built, and I mean, he was like a political, political activist.
Yeah.
Like people's
A lot of
rights.
great causes.
So, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
and that little bunny rabbit, is now like as popular as Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a signal. It's
crazy.
It's a sign.
It is.
Yeah.
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 I just cracked open a Ranch Rider. You've got the jalapeno.
That's right.
The Seeger
Little
collab.
spice.
I'm double fisting it over here with a Ranch Rider Ranch Water and a grapefruit Rambler,
Yeah.
so I can stay hydrated
I like it.
and imbibe at the same time.
You see this?
Keeping it local. I like it.
Keep it local. Thank you, Ranch Rider. Thank you,
Thank you,
Rambler.
Ranch Rider.
Cheers, fellas.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you for joining
I
us
like a little
again.
bit of spice because last week I'm still thawing out. I feel like it.
How did How did you weather in the snow apocalypse?
I
of
didn't
21?
have power for 4 days.
Okay.
Not
I
good?
camped 3 days in my house. I say camping because that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I have like propane and stuff like that I can cook with.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to do that. I ate
Yeah.
hot meals, but froze every day, and it's fine. I had a lot of layers of clothes and blankets, so it was okay. It's just boring because I couldn't really do much. I
What
couldn't
point
get
did you
online.
lose water? Did you?
I always assume when we lose power, you lose water. So I would just use it very sparingly, just to do a little quick, wash down. But I had tons of wipes, and then I just assumed well, water's gonna be off for a while, because that's growing up, that's how it was. So then eventually I caved in and went to a friend's house, stayed the night.
Took a shower?
I did. It was great.
Great.
That first
And
shower was magical.
It was like, man, this is what it feels like to if I was actually camping for a week or something and not showering or whatever,
Yes,
but
yeah.
it was great. And then it also, of course, it was a girl, so she kept the apartment very warm. And
Oh,
I
nice.
was like, okay, now I'm sweating,
Yeah.
But it was nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like our mascot has found Bridget.
Yeah,
Sounds
I think Bridget has arrived.
Okay, that's what that was.
Awesome.
Okay. So you guys go to digital basically right away, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's not a bad thing this day and age because
I mean, everybody's got it at their fingertips all day long.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, how often does the website get updated, and how are you picking and choosing what you put up there?
Well, I've gone through roller coaster rides of trying to figure out what do people want to read and what do people want to listen to, and we used to really focus on really good what you'd see normal magazine articles of insights and things like that, and not to say we've gotten completely away from it, but the readership isn't quite there, and I don't blame it on them. I blame it on is it engaging enough to get them? Because figuring out algorithms and people and figuring out what people read is a tricky thing because you have to do something consistently to get them to consistently follow you.
Right.
Yeah, so you got to build it up before you can actually find out if it's working.
Exactly. So Culture Map, they come out with a news story and it's daily just information that you need to know a lot of times. And then sometimes there's some insights and stuff. And then people expect that from them, where it's Eater, they kind of just do anything to do with food. Somebody got arrested, somebody got hired, somebody got fired. They have all of that, and along with the list and the guide. So they kind of dominate this market with their traffic. And I don't want to go down either one of those roads as far as what they do. So, I do a lot of guides as well because it's needed, and I think it's good to help the community. But also, we'll do some other things, we post a lot of events. We have an events calendar. And then sometimes I do Q&As. Q&As are really fun, especially if they're we call them rapid fire Q&A. So you just ask them a quick question and then, give a one word answer or maybe a 5-word answer, something like that. And then I try to have fun with those because I have a very big sense of humor. I always think it's hey, don't take everything so serious.
Yeah.
And, I've done those before with some people. And the chefs and everybody we do it with they really like it, but sometimes it'll get them in trouble because I say, hey, what if you could do anything at your job, what would you do? And they'll be oh man, these damn
this off the
servers,
menu. Oh, it's
yeah, it depends on what it is.
Counter service only.
Yeah, and then I know they're joking because I can see them and I'm talking to them, but does the owner of that restaurant know, or partners? When there's business involved, you got to be careful. So
It's true.
I've had to learn that along the way.
That's fun though. I like the rapid fire approach. Do you do things that are corny or deliberately?
Oh yeah, yeah. People, I feel a lot of chefs. As I know how serious chefs are,
Right.
Especially when they have a great product and a great restaurant, and they're under a lot of pressure, a lot of hours. But a lot of them are just goofy guys. They're goofy people. They're trying to have a good time.
That's
They're
true.
following their passion, and sometimes they just need to show the world that they can also be cool.
Yeah.
And not just oh look. I have this. I love Kevin Fink, for example. He's a great chef. I think he's an awesome guy. But every time he doing something, he's got those tweezers.
Yeah.
And he's like so like
Precise.
focused.
Yeah.
He's like, "Ugh, I gotta put that right there.
Surgically placing a flower petal
Yeah.
on the edge of a plate.
Yeah. And he's, I mean, it works for him because he's awesome. And I know he's like really focused on it. But part of me wants to make like a parody out of that,
Right.
Just out of the entire aspect of it.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. Our philosophy has always been come on in and take a break. Like
Yeah.
with these chefs, Take
Yeah.
a break, let blow off some steam.
Have a ranch rider.
Yes,
Yeah.
have a ranch
Have
rider.
a ranch rider. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like that. So that's worked out. Have you ever done those like on Instagram or anything, like live?
No, it's something I'm going to actually start implementing pretty soon.
That'd be neat.
Yeah.
So everyone's been telling me, some of my other influencer friends, they've been saying like, we need to see you. Like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
tons of, there's always
We've heard
food
that.
photos.
We've heard that too.
Yeah, there's always food photos. Food photos are a dime a dozen, but like, people need to get to know you.
Yeah,
and I'm
'cause-
like, and I'm not camera shy
Right.
or radio shy or anything, but it's just like, well, what am I going to say?
Sure.
And so the concept I'm going to try pretty soon is acting as a correspondent, like saying, hey, here's what's going on in Austin this week, or here's what we just tried this week. And it'll just be me in front of a camera for 2 minutes each. Very quick in and out.
Yeah.
Like Al Roker.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am not a cute blonde. I cannot do fashion stuff. Nobody cares what kind of skin moisturizer I'm wearing or shampoo I'm using. So I can't do that racket. So I'm going to have to do what I'm good at, hopefully.
Yeah, and use
entertain
that
people.
sense of humor you got.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes, do that.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
It will be fun.
You know,
will-
because what that's going to do is it's going to build trust too. You're going to
Exactly.
build your followership.
Right.
Because they're going to be like, what's Hayden saying?
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully people don't think I'm too much of a smartass, but just
No,
enough.
but you got to be just that
enough.
perfect
Yeah.
smartass, right?
The right in between.
Just like, is he too much? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Am I offended by what he said? I can't really
No, I
figure
like
out.
him.
Yeah.
We were going to go have brunch at Dropkick. What was it called?
Oh, yeah, the bar.
Yeah, with pop.
And she messaged a couple days later looking for the best macaroni and cheese in Austin. And I was like, man, you should have come in a week later. We could have probably told you some better answers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's up with this mac and cheese fest? Did I read this right? Was it scheduled for
Yeah.
early February and it's now
Well, it was originally scheduled for the 28th
28th.
Sunday.
Okay.
And then with the storm and everything, a lot of the chefs got behind, getting their water turned back on, getting all kinds of stuff. So I just made the call. I called them all and said, hey, would you guys prefer to just skip a week or, go to next week, give me more time to get your stuff together? And they said, yeah, sure. So,
of course, right? Like,
So normally every year we host like a big festival. There, you go to a food festival and you see vendors everywhere, with the tents, and then they give samples. So COVID times we can't do that right now.
Yeah.
So I said, well, why don't we do a series of pop-ups?
okay.
And instead of having 20 something chefs for one pop-up, let's break them down into like 7 to 8 chefs per pop-up, and you do 3 pop-ups.
Okay.
A
macaroni pop-up.
Pretty much. And then they're each themed. So the one we have coming up on March 7th is Mardi Gras themed.
Okay.
So it's the flavors of Mardi Gras. So, Cajun, Creole, whatever.
Yum.
The next one,
it.
I mean,
You're going to have a gumbo mac.
I hope so. We already have a
I
Cajun.
want the cake.
The king cake
Oh, yeah,
mac.
the king cake. Yeah.
Somebody will do it.
I wish. I didn't get that on the list, but, we got some interesting ones, like a crawfish
Boudin
mac.
balls mac.
I don't know if anybody came up with that
So
one.
the Mardi Gras, that's the set, like Swift's Attic, Sawyer Co, Brian Beneke, he's part of this. Did you know that?
Yeah, he won.
Blacks-
Yeah, he won the last one.
Oh, did he? We just talked to him the other day. We
Oh,
should.
cool.
I wish we would have brought this up. Black's Barbecue TLC. That'll deliver some good mac.
that, yeah.
Parkside, Rosewood, and More Cafe.
Yeah, More Cafe. They are exclusively just doing a cheesecake, a big hunking slice of cheesecake for the VIP ticket buyers. Yeah,
Not a bad day.
it's pretty substantial. I mean, I think 2 people should be able to eat that. But and before I did all this, I was testing, like, what are people going to do? Like, is it enough food? Is it too much? Too much food. So we got these 4-ounce little ramekins. So a friend of mine and I, we just put a bunch of mac and cheese in each one of them, cooked it, as if a person that bought a ticket would do. And we both ate it, and we were both stuffed just eating mac and cheese after.
The 4 ounce.
Right.
Oh, for all 7.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair amount of mac and cheese.
It is, and because I don't know, I have a big appetite, so when I'm super hungry, I'm like, is this gonna be enough food? And then, of course, you get to that moment where you're like, okay, I'm stuffed.
You're like,
But especially when you eat like macaroni and cheese, because it's the carbs and the cheese. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, we had an experience last night.
He's like, I ordered 2 smalls. We went to via 3, went 3. He's like, I got 2 smalls. I was like, dude, what else are we gonna eat? That's not gonna be enough food. He's like, have you had a small? I was like, yeah. But we went last night and we ordered it to go, but we ended up showing up. So we sat at the bar and ordered 2 more pizzas.
Oh,
Right?
So
So we
That was a
ate,
mistake, right?
the pizzas that we ordered fresh there, and we brought the to-goes home.
yeah.
But I mean, I was ruined after one
Yeah.
of the smalls.
we were done.
Yeah.
we were done. We were comatose.
Oh, God.
But we gave a pizza away
Yeah,
because
we
we,
did.
had
We
2
gave a
extras.
pie away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one's still downstairs.
That's good. Yeah, I do that all the time. I in my business, I'm always getting food, brought to me, delivered
Yeah,
or thrown at me, whatever. And it's like, man, I shouldn't be eating these carbs. Unfortunately, there's tons of homeless people around, so
Yeah.
they might like a pizza.
There you go.
So do I have this right? The Mardi Gras will be one day.
Right. So it's just a 1-day event. So we're limiting all of the events to just 300 tickets, as opposed to normally, you go to a festival and you have like 1,200 or 1,500 people, so and so on. So it's just a 1-day. Everyone picks up their item. We're going to keep everything in cold storage from the day before when we pick everything up. So it's meant for them to take it home and put it in the oven.
Okay, that's what
Take
we're-
and bake.
Right.
Yeah, take and bake. Okay.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. it'd be
And then
fun.
is there going to be any sort of like feedback from the take and bake? Or are they going to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give all the ticket holders I'm putting together like a forum on Google to like, hey, tell me what you thought and what can we improve on. And the first time I did this event, it was really hard to take feedback because I'm like, well, that person's crazy, and some people are. I mean, you know how it is. Just you can't please everyone.
Yeah.
And once I got that in my mind that you can't please everyone, you just have to take things as feedback and fix what you can versus what you can. So yeah, we want to make sure that, okay, is this working? What can we do that's better? And that's why we say, well, we could put it at a reasonable price. $30 a ticket,
Yeah.
which is a good amount of it's gourmet mac and cheese.
And the VIP is 50. And what's the difference? You just get the cold brew with the VIP?
So you get cold brew, some kombucha from Chameleon,
And some swag.
or sponsored,
Good,
right?
Very good coffee.
Yep, one of the best. They actually just came out with a New Orleans concentrate,
Perfect
which
for
I think
this.
that's what we're offering.
Okay, cool.
And then
What would
green
go
belt
in that?
kombucha.
Chicory?
Yeah.
Maybe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't tasted it yet. They just delivered to me one to me right before I left.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I hopefully it's
Tickets
got-
still available.
There's
Sold out.
I think
bunch.
there's 50 still available.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
48.
I see. There are some.
Or 40. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
So what inspired the Mac and Cheese Fest to start with?
Well, when we started the magazine, we were trying to figure out everything we wanted to do. Like, okay, we're in this because it's fun, but also like we need to run a business and build some revenue. So selling ads all the time was just not the best way to spend time.
Mind numbing.
Right. It's terrible. And, you just got to deal with it. You got to deal with all these things. So we won't stop doing that. But let's say, well, we should come up with an event that would be fun, that people would definitely go to, something that I would want to go to, and then that we can continue to do. So I had written down many ideas. We obviously couldn't do a barbecue fest because Texas Monthly was doing that, and they do a great job of it. We thought of some other ones, and then it's just certain things. I'm like, I just don't know if that's too pretentious, or I don't know if this is too cheap, or whatever. And then mac and cheese just stuck because that's my second favorite food.
Yeah.
Next to barbecue, and so
Not a good comp.
It's- and you can mix them together.
Yeah.
exactly, and which we've done a couple times. So we just decided, like, let's do a mac and cheese fest. And I had looked up. At that time there was only 2 other cities that had one: Chicago and somewhere in Arizona.
Okay.
And so Chicago does a giant one. There's like 60 different vendors that are part of it, and it's over like a 3-day period. But it's a big city, so it makes sense. So I said, well, we're just going to do a 1-day event for a certain amount of hours. Get the chefs in Austin and see part of. So we did our first one at the
Escoffier.
Scoot Inn. The first one is a historic Scoot Inn.
Okay.
And the second year was at Escoffier.
Yeah.
Which was a much bigger venue. A little bit harder. It's a weird environment over there because there's like the ground's uneven, but it's, doing events outside is always going to be, interesting. So the first 2 years were really great. Third year we had a hiccup because we had power issues with a generator. It rained. It was all kinds of issues, but it was funny because it was on Veterans Day. It was a Sunday of Veterans Day, and some F-16s flew over, and people were like, "How'd you pay for that?" I was like, "I got my ways." And I was like, "I wasn't expecting it."
Right.
Anyway, and then last year was amazing. So anyway, I'm sorry, not last year, 2019.
Okay. So
And-
last year, nothing.
Right. Last year we just took a break. Like, let's figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And then we also expanded it to Portland. So we did 2 years in Portland.
Oh, yeah?
And because I always go, I've always gone back and forth to
Okay.
Portland. Portland's it's a fun city, interesting food
Food
city.
City, yeah.
Very similar to Austin in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Danny, you've been out there.
I have not.
No, either have I.
It's cool. I mean, despite all the negative news they've had in the past year with
Oh.
all the riots, it's a whole different thing. But that's
Yeah.
just one small part of the
Right.
city. But food's
What was
amazing.
that little structure they
It
had
was
called?
called, what was it called? Chad?
Chad.
Yeah,
Chaz.
Chaz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. They didn't have very good food there.
No.
They needed a little comfort food in their life.
Right.
So I really like that, right?
Yeah.
With the barbecue, you got the mac and cheese fest.
Right.
And I must say this theme this year is pretty badass. And
Yeah,
like
it's cool.
Yeah.
Sawyer and Co. in the mix. I mean, they got a leg in with that Creole stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean that's
Same with TLC.
right. TLC. I mean, I haven't seen what they're doing yet. Parkside. So I'm filming a video for each restaurant
Cool.
to highlight that's the interactive portion of the festival or the virtual part.
Yes.
Because I've also after talking to a lot of people, some people don't really care about the here's the Q&A with the chefs, and some of them like it. But is it engaging enough for an audience to keep them there?
Yeah.
Or do they just feel like they got to stay? So I'm just filming everything ahead of time, putting on YouTube, and then putting on the page, and people can watch it whenever they want.
When you say you're filming, you have like a crew filming with you?
It's just me.
Really?
Before the magazine, I had a YouTube channel.
Did you?
It was all about food.
Is it no longer a thing?
Not really. I still have the
still up
videos
there?
up. I still have videos up, but it's not.
Oh,
You're not
interesting.
actively.
Yeah, not on that one. And so it's kind of like going back home in a sense, but it's very easy. There's not a lot of commentary. It's just like, watching the recipe process. I'll send you guys a link. Watch the recipe process, and then it's like a 2-minute video.
Oh, cool.
So
it's
we
quick,
got the
in and out, bing, bang,
right.
boom. Nice.
Yeah. So we got the one for Black's Barbecue in Parkside, and then Salt Traders is not part of it, but I did one for them too for another project.
Okay.
So for mac and cheese.
Salt Traders, good stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
The one down south here?
Yeah.
Nice.
Good mac
And so
cheese.
the next pop up, which will be in April, that one's going to be the brunch theme,
Ooh,
and then the one after that is going to be Cinco de
great
Mayo
themes.
theme.
I hear some pork belly coming into that one.
I hope so.
Yeah.
These are great themes.
Yeah.
Every one is great. Cinco de
Oh,
Mayo.
the Cinco de Mayo. So you got the Latino.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's we're planning that one for the
mafia.
Sunday right before
Cinco de
Cinco
Maco.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Get the Taco Mafia involved
Yeah.
with that one.
Yeah.
So we had the Taco Mafia on here for a
okay.
for a podcast.
Oh,
yeah, and
yeah.
those guys, I don't know if you know or not, if you follow their social media, but
Well,
they
they
really
they don't have a social media.
the Instagram.
Well,
But they really
Latonitas,
Oh, well, I'm talking
Nixta.
about Nixta
Nixta.
and
Oh, okay,
Quantos and Descada.
Yeah, but like,
But
there's
they-
not a Taco
and
Mafia
Doughboys.
Instagram.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Right.
But they all came together.
They kicked ass.
Like we're making food for everybody.
Oh, cool.
In East Austin. I mean, like
like-
thousands of tacos and
Wow. Was
Yeah.
that like during the
during the
storm?
snowpocalypse.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We
They-
saw a lot of this. I mean, I'm sure you did too.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have electricity. I couldn't get online for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I could barely check email on my phone.
That was the worst part of it.
Yeah, it was
if you ask me.
terrible.
charging
And
your phone
then-
in your car.
Yeah, exactly. Go into my car, sit there for 2 hours, and then come back. And then, but then I was thinking like, maybe I should probably do something to help, But then I get back, I'm like seeing like, well, there's like 400 people doing something already.
Yes.
And it's not that I shouldn't. It's just like, well, if I get into the game now, it's like just too late. So like when I see like a Taste of Coco, she raised over 150 grand for,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Neighbor was telling she said she should get on the podcast. I
Yeah.
don't know her, but that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I could introduce you to her, and then
Please,
you can see
yeah.
what works. Yeah, she's and she has her voice and her platform's obviously very great. So she's done that. She did that last year with she brought a lot of meals for people and stuff during COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Awesome.
and so I did help. I just didn't raise any money. I would go deliver food for people
Yeah.
and stuff like
Danny
that.
did that.
Yeah, I was in that.
Yeah.
So one of my buddies, he owns Craigos Pizza in Lakeway.
Oh, okay.
And we kind of organized out there, and you said it's kind of a central hub. There's a brewery that brought water, so we were able to make stuff. But today he had an interview with USA Today.
Oh, sweet. Awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of impact made by these
Yeah.
people, you know. And I was talking to Jason, and it's kind of crazy, you know, because last year when COVID happened, the restaurant industry was decimated.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like losing money, shutting down. And then whenever the snowstorm happened, it was crazy how the restaurants rallied together.
Yeah.
Even though they still weren't making money, but they were creating the ability for people to get food and
Right.
water, or you know. And I mean, like Edgar Rico over at Nixta, he's working with a headlamp.
Oh,
There's
wow.
no power in there. He's got his gas on and he's cooking tacos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate stuff like that because you know, it's funny how we are as humanity. We will come and help each other out in these times of need, but then like after that goes away, it's like,
it's back to normal.
who'd you vote for? Or, screw you.
Well, I
Get
always
out of my
said,
lane.
If you've ever been in a church, they usually bring in and they sit you down. They're like, "Hey, look at your neighbor."
Yeah.
And they should, instead of hugging them, just punch them like you want to do in the highway. That's like, what are we really doing here?
But he's stranded, so we'll help him out.
We'll help them today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but I
people
mean-
are funny. It's
Yeah.
a weird dynamic. But yes, we do pull together in dark times.
Right.
It was great. I saw this picture of like everything was white. There's nothing but white, you know, everywhere. And then right in the middle of it was a flag, and there was Texas flag just flying in the middle.
Oh,
of it,
cool.
You know,
Yeah.
it was great because I mean, just to see how like we came together as a state.
Yeah.
You know, it was.
I'm
phenomenal.
hoping. I am hoping that it's probably not going to happen, but that this little hiccup we had in the storm, hopefully, it makes all the California people just move away again.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's too cold here. It's going to come back again next year, y'all.
Right.
But Tesla looks like they're still building. So anyway,
Yeah, there is definitely. Well, Elon even said it, right? This is
Yeah.
going to be the biggest boom. I was like, I thought
Yeah.
it already was the biggest boom.
yeah,
Yeah, over the
Real
next
estate
10
market
years
for
or something, it's
sure.
going to go crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I can say about that is we don't have any of the traffic that we used to have yet.
Yeah,
Oh, it's coming.
it's coming.
I know.
Getting back on, I live on Riverside, and so when I get on 35 just to go
always
downtown,
That's terrible.
It's always bad.
Yeah.
It's always been bad. But before COVID, I remember how really bad it was. Terrible.
Yeah.
And in Riverside itself, it's just like, oh, you got homeless people everywhere, you got potholes everywhere. It's like the worst road in Austin, I feel like. And so, you know, anyway, I hopefully at some point things will get back to normal. I want the businesses to thrive. You know, it's
Yes.
worth being in traffic for that.
Well, they're pushing the vaccine. I think that's what's gonna make that turnaround.
Right.
But back to this mac and cheese, because
Yeah.
Pac had asked, right? Where's the best mac and cheese? And I think we neither of us really knew what to say. We sent her to HBQ, which combines barbecue and
Yeah.
mac and cheese. What would you say?
You know, that's a tough one because I've gone up and down with so many different ones. I would say my most consistently good one that I've gone back over and over for is at Schoolhouse Pub.
Schoolhouse Pub.
But haven't gotten them in the festival for some reason. There's a lot of ones that I like. I think they're great. Like what's that steakhouse that's on Congress at? It's right by the Paramount. It's inside of the
Three Forks?
not Three Forks.
The Roaring Fork.
Roaring Fork.
Yeah.
I love their mac and cheese, and I've asked them several times, "Hey, would you like to be in there?" Like, sure, yeah, count us in. And then like I email them, and it just I know things they get busy and they sidetracked whatever. So the great thing about the festival is that even if you don't make mac and cheese at your restaurant, or you make a whole different mac and cheese, you can do whatever you want at the festival, and if it works, then you might be able to sell it at your restaurant.
That's true.
Which I've encouraged. It just depends on what works for everyone. So, but in Austin, as far as like restaurants, there's some that, like I said, I think Roaring Fork is consistently probably one of the best ones. Parkside, they've always made a really, really good one. And it's something goes along with presentation. Like I love it when somebody brings like those cast iron pans of mac and cheese. Like immediately I know I'm going to be miserable after it because it's like
Greasy and hot.
Yeah,
But
greasy,
that's
hot.
That's a good miserable.
It is good.
Yeah, it is. It makes you feel like
You know what you're doing before you get
Yeah.
into it.
I
And
like mac and cheese. I've made a lot of mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is good.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been able like when I've always had a passion for mac and cheese, but then like, once I started the festival, I was like, well, I guess I better like experiment. So I've experimented with tons of different flavors and
Yeah.
options and stuff like that.
It's
So,
like the ultimate comfort food.
yeah,
Actually, it is.
Yeah, and you get to. I think the thing is so versatile. You can do so
Yes.
many different flavors with it.
Bacon,
Deep fried.
deep fried mac and cheese.
Yeah,
There
like
you go.
they haven't been part of it, but what is it? Not Wingstop. Pluckers.
Oh,
Pluckers.
They make those mac and cheese, fried sticks. Those are good.
I've never had that.
can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah. There's all kinds of. There's so many different ones out there. It's crazy. So I appreciate just such a classic dish is so versatile and so deep and rich and unless you're like I don't know, lactose intolerant or gluten tolerant.
How
Sorry for
horrible
them.
would that be?
Yeah.
You can also make a waffle out of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I've seen that
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
I've seen that done.
That's good. I used to make that one. I loved it.
Yeah.
Throw some bacon in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I one day I do want to like I'm thinking about next year maybe combining like a grilled cheese aspect to it and mac and cheese.
Okay.
I've seen other cities do that.
Grilled cheese.
They do like a grilled cheese and mac and cheese
I think I
festival.
saw
all at
like
once.
Alton Braun put a grilled cheese on a grill, and grill it.
Oh, he probably. I mean, he did. I remember. One of my favorite grilled cheeses is his grilled cheese, and he breaks it down and
On a grill.
He doesn't do it on a grill.
Oh,
he does it on a flat griddle.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's how you would want to do it, right?
But a grilled.
Now I want that crust from the griddle.
But if you had a good hot grill, you could get that crust on there. Especially if you put I don't know. I'd try it.
Well, like
In Danny's words, don't make it charcoal.
what's the grilled cheese food truck?
Grilled cheese food truck.
Burrow.
Burrow.
Yeah.
They make a grilled cheese mac and cheese sandwich called the Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac.
Yeah, it's a good name. It's a good sandwich too. But
Okay.
it's funny. Like you see all these ideas out there, and like a lot of places are perfect. Oh, you should be a part of this, and that doesn't mean that they have time to do the event.
Sure.
But it's fine because over the years I've seen people that it's like, oh, maybe they don't offer mac and cheese, but maybe they should do this festival, and it turns out they made an amazing one, and they won. Like the first year we had Cafe Blue, which I'm not the biggest fan of Cafe Blue to be honest, but they made it like a crab and lobster mac and cheese, which is hard.
Not bad.
I mean, it was beautiful. And then Chef Amir Alamaki from District Kitchen, he made.
He's a talented chef.
And he's one of those guys who's like, I'm not gonna half-ass anything. Like he's not gonna do it unless he knows I can knock it out of the park. And he made some type of it was like a pastry shell, put mac and cheese inside, and it had some other. It blew everyone away.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Butter with mac and cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. So eventually what we're going to do, hopefully this year, we're building towards putting together a mac and cheese cookbook, recipe.
Yeah.
That's
Of
Are you
all
going to
the
use the
features.
chef's recipes? Cool.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I want to get a little of your backstory before that, though.
Okay.
We come out of left field with the potty talk.
Oh, potty talk.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
So you've been around in Austin. I mean,
Yeah.
you've gone to plenty of restaurants.
or in Portland or
Portland,
Portland,
if
yeah.
you like. But like for the local Austinite, where's some bathrooms that have captivated you?
favorite bathroom.
It's always the hotel bathrooms. For the most part.
Okay.
It really just depends on where you're like. So the nicer the hotel, normally the nicer the bathroom. So like I've gone probably the JW bathrooms more than anybody.
JW. Oh, so we're talking about in the lobby, or
Right.
like for like OP.
Right.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to restaurants,
Sure.
that's a tricky one because there's only certain things I do in restaurants when it comes to going to the potty.
Right.
So it's the number one because I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable
Yeah.
dropping deuces
Posting up. Yeah.
running the front line offense or whatever, you know.
That's
but,
that pregame event, right?
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's a pregame and postgame.
You need
event.
home field advantage.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And then every now and then, movie theater like the Alamo. But a rare occasion. So,
Right.
but it's funny because nowadays some of these bathrooms are making it to be Instagram worthy, only in the ladies' bathroom. But then they're gender neutral half the time. So
That's true too.
So I don't know. It's hard to say. I think there's that taco place. It's like all pink over off of West 6th.
What is?
It used to be Frank and Angie's.
It's
and
real colorful, right?
Yeah, it's like pink everywhere. And the girls' bathroom in there is like it's made for Instagram. The men's bathroom is it's there. It's fine. It's clean, but it's like
should write a complaint.
Guys aren't going to be like, "Hey, check me out,"
They would. Maybe they would.
Jason would.
You never know.
I would. I wouldn't. But. So there's a suggestion right there.
Yeah.
So you Mopac South or North, get off on 6 and take a left and hit the head.
Yeah. Make a best restaurant bathrooms.
Yeah.
And Bucky's, that's always
Bucky's, you can have a floor there.
Yeah. That Bucky's is like, they
I think they started the
outside.
clean bathroom trend.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah. They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, wrapping up potty talk.
Potty talk. Thank you for potty talk.
So you mentioned the YouTube. Were you born here in Austin?
No, I'm originally from Houston.
Danny
and-
as well.
Oh yeah. Originally from H-Town, and then when my mother got remarried to my stepdad, we moved to Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay.
So I moved there when I was in 5th grade, and then I was from there all the way through college.
Okay.
I always thought I'd come back to Texas, even my whole grade school years. Just Texas was always home. I'd come back to visit family, grandparents. My dad lives in Round Rock. He's been there for years and years, and so I always knew I'd come back. I didn't know if I'd come to Austin at the time, but then the right opportunity came up right after Hurricane Rita, which is Hurricane Rita was right after Hurricane Katrina.
Okay.
And so I didn't lose anything. I was just like, oh, well, I'm sick of hurricanes, and job opportunity came up. So I moved, and I was in retail management for a while. Not the greatest, industry to be in, but, it got me here.
Right.
And so I was in Bee Cave for a while. Bee Cave, Lakeway
Beautiful area.
Yep,
Yeah.
That's
very
where I
pretty.
live, kind of.
And then after that, I ended up getting a job with Liberty Mutual Insurance, and I moved to Round Rock where the office was. So I was there for a while, and then I moved to North Austin at the Domain for a number of years.
So moving around a little bit.
Yeah, at least within town, yeah.
Sure.
And then now I'm on Riverside. So yeah, I've been here since 2005.
And what sparked the interest, like, in making a YouTube channel about food?
Honestly, I was bored. So I just started my job at in insurance at Liberty Mutual, and after a year, all I was doing at my job literally was I'd go there, get there about 8:30 in the morning, and you're on the phone all day. You go visit clients all day.
Like the stereotypical.
Right.
This is not very exciting job.
I mean, depending on how you look at it, because there's some guys that love it and they're making bank.
Sure.
And if you like the money, then that's a whole nother thing.
Well, if you're good at something and you're making money doing it, it's not hard to hate it.
Yeah, there's some people that they just love sales, that style of sales. And I just I don't really think I'm good at sales, but I don't want to do this, And so I just said I need to do something else. So I started a hobby. I figured out how to do video, and I did all these YouTube channel things, and I did I went to Precision Camera to learn how to do some things.
Doing reviews of food?
No, just how to operate camera and edit and all kinds of stuff.
On the videos were about that.
Because I already knew I had already had this idea. I'm going to go around and film restaurants, and I'm not going to charge them. I'm just going to hey, can I make a video of you and then do it for free? I just want to see what you're doing and then highlight it on YouTube. And it was a little bit different back then than it is now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that long ago. And then, I had to learn, okay, what does the YouTube audience like? And, when you do stuff on a local level, at least in Austin, it's a little harder to gauge. It's a little harder to grab a YouTube audience when you're just hey, this is this random restaurant on East 2nd Street.
We know.
Yeah. But it was still fun, and it led me to meeting my original publisher who ran her magazine.
Okay, the style.
And so then we kind of we started working together for that original magazine. She said, well, why don't we both kind of came up with the idea of, why don't we do a food magazine?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't know anything about running a magazine, but I can learn it. And that's how we got to that point. So
I gotcha.
Yeah. So it was a kind of a gradual step, like, hey, you could do this if you're right here, you're already doing something. Let's pivot.
Yeah.
And I think that's about life. I mean, everyone, you start somewhere and then you realize,
Especially now, right?
yeah, I mean, you got to,
Yeah. Did you have to do any pivoting with, back in March when everything started to go
pretty
down?
much. I mean, I have,
March.
all of the influencers in town, and I hate to even call myself an influencer, but I mean, that's what
you
I
are.
am. Yeah, pretty much what I am. And so everyone had to make a pivot, and you had to do something slightly different than you did before.
Right.
And so, I pivoted in a lot of different ways that had to, change how I build a business and income. And some have done very, very well, and some people are struggling, or some people just playing even. But Austin is such an events-driven town, and when you have things like South by getting shut down,
Yeah.
What a crazy time that was.
Oh man,
Is this really happening?
yeah.
I mean, I remember.
I mean, the
that.
amount of money that the city lost, all the businesses and everything.
They didn't
I
want to
didn't
refund
believe it.
people.
Yeah.
And, like people with their travel plans.
Yeah.
And- oh God.
I can't even imagine. And that just scares me about like throwing like a big giant event. Like my events are big enough to where if I had to cancel some things or I could reschedule some things and make something around. But like if I had to refund everyone, it was like, ugh.
yeah.
But South by, oof, you know. And then that's not just them. And then it's like all those brands that are coming to town.
And I mean, the things that have already been built.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they start months ahead to build those.
Right. And people open up their restaurants and shops in town just for South by because they know, hey, somebody's going to rent this out for a big party and I can make $100,000 or whatever.
They make almost a year's worth of income.
Exactly.
In a week. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
And
all of
everyone
that's
in the
ignored.
service industry hates it. It's like the dreadful week or two.
Yeah. I hate it,
They
but
say
But
they
it
hate
makes
it.
the money.
yep. And then you might see a movie star here and there,
Yeah.
So
That's well, now you're just going to see them all over
yeah.
because they're all moving here.
Yeah.
right?
Left and right.
Left and
I feel like I see one every month now, just randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
If they
funny.
need me
how
to
that-
cook for them, I'm happy to do it.
Well, haven't run into like Joe Rogan or anything yet. So
Yeah. Oh, well, he's at that Antoine's all the time.
Yeah.
For that Kill Tony.
oh yeah. I need to go check that out.
Yeah. Cade was posting pictures of him the other night. But all right, well, that's interesting. So you got there. So you always had some kind of passion behind you for food.
Yeah, I didn't know it changed a lot over the years because I didn't know how to like share it. I didn't have a passion enough to be a chef or work in the industry, but I feel like I had like a certain level of passion to show what other people were doing, and I always had a passion for photography and stuff, and I just had to learn things and figure out how to get there.
So what have you learned like about these folks, these wonderful culinarians, if you will?
So I've known people in the industry for a long time, like
Sure.
ever since I was in high school, and I know that there's things that are very similar, and then there's things that differentiate them along the way.
Sure.
Working a lot of late hours, you get exposed to a lot of things that you don't see in a normal work environment,
Exactly.
both good and bad. And I feel like chefs have one of the most interesting personalities because of the pressure that you're on, the pressure to be creative, but also driving business. And so that combined with the type of personality that it takes to be creative, like you're going to get a different type of person. That's just the way it is. And so some of them have a way to express it in like a very colorful way, in a very positive way. And then you see some like Charlie Trotter, who was I don't know if you know,
demon.
He was a demon. Talented, but everyone hated him.
Marco Pierre White.
Yeah.
Demon.
Yeah. Like you used to get people like that. And then, but I'm not saying that I don't know enough of them in Austin to say that they're like that. I don't want to cast a bad spell on anyone.
Sure.
But I've seen these personalities where like I've always had a really good relationship with all the chefs in town because I don't write reviews and I don't write negative stuff.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah. I give them feedback personally, like
Sure.
this might have a little too much, or this might have had too much, whatever, and that's it. I'm not sitting here like, who the hell am I to like sit there and like, the disdain of this terrible dish and like, how could they put this, like I see some of the
casino
writers.
chef.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some are like what Matthew Odom, he's a amazing writer, so I respect what he does a lot. But I don't feel like I'm talented enough to write like that. And number two, I don't want to like potentially ruin someone's business.
Yeah. But nowadays everybody's a critic. I mean, you
Yeah.
can sit at the table and do a
Yelp
review
and-
right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
It is. Social media has really changed the world.
It is. And I feel like, I guess when you realize that you can't make everyone happy, there's always going to be somebody that has a complaint about something.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you said it had changed, since 2015? It's like Instagram last year was like a photo and a story. And now
Yeah.
there's like a shop and a Reels. And it's like it's changing like by the
And then
month.
TikTok, like I can't even keep up with that, like.
I'm an old fogey when it
I
comes
don't do
to that.
TikTok.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I've tried. Like I'm still trying, but like, everyone's like, "Oh no, you're like putting stuff every day." I'm like, I have enough to do with Instagram,
Right.
like, and a blog, like whoever can
And a
do
magazine.
it. Yeah, and events and all the things that I
Mac
do.
and Cheese Fest, 3 of them.
Yeah, and it's. I'm glad all of this stuff is out there, but
Yeah.
it's just.
Well, it gets a little busy, right?
Yeah.
It does.
When I'm on Instagram and I'm that guy now going, it used to be like that. How do you, I don't know.
Yeah,
Throwing down the phone.
but every generation goes through those changes, so to speak.
happening.
It's just happening a lot faster.
Yeah.
for us.
I mean, you're right. I mean, the level of speed of technology, like think about it, when we were younger to where it is now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, social media, it's kind of like a nail that it's good, but then also it'll hurt you quick if especially
Quick.
nowadays, you can't.
Like Twitter.
Yeah, you could be unintentionally, harm, say something. It's like I didn't know what that meant.
Banned for life.
But you're
Do you have
canceled for life.
Right, you have experience with that.
Right.
Well, okay, so we kind of went down this with the favorite mac and cheese places, but what are your favorite
Oh,
restaurants?
yeah, your favorite places in town.
Well,
Because this is our only segment. Well,
Yeah.
now we have two.
Yeah,
Okay.
potty talk
Potty
and
talk.
favorite place.
so I go back and forth. A lot of it always depends on my mood. So when it comes to barbecue, like I don't have just one favorite. Like,
Sure.
Of course I like Franklin's. Who doesn't like
Yeah.
Franklin's?
Yeah.
But I don't feel like waiting for Franklin's. I mean, nowadays it's not that bad because of the
right.
COVID. But during normal times, I'm like, I'm not waiting in line.
It's a long
Maybe
line.
once you can have the experience, sit
Yeah.
in your lawn chair, drink a beer, whatever, and then
Exactly.
I've done that.
Yeah. I think I consistently, because it's really close to me and I like those, I like them. I go to La Barbecue a lot.
Oh, yeah.
They've been great for a long time.
You're spoiled on the east side.
Oh yeah, I mean it's Curlin, La Barbecue. La Barbecue's getting a new building, so like there's so much good barbecue on that side. And then, but Style Switch, when I lived up north, I'd go there a lot, but I would go there anyway. I still go out of my way just to go there.
They got one by Pius out there now.
Yeah,
and,
the Switch. Yeah,
What is that called? What is that neighborhood called out there? Belterra?
Belterra.
yeah, Belterra, and then they got a new one in Cedar Park. Yeah,
They put one in Cedar Park. Oh, Cedar Park's coming up.
yep,
Shout out.
that's
Heidi.
going up out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So barbecue, I have my spots, but then if I feel like Italian, and
There's a good. there you go.
there's Juliet, and then there's Red Ash.
Oh.
There's I'm trying to think of the other ones.
Who was the pop up that Edgar
Buffalina?
was talking about?
Oh yeah, Buffalina. Yep.
The what?
The pop up Edgar was talking about, the Italian. Oh, it was only for the month. I'll stop because I don't remember what it was.
Well, what's the one at the Butterfly Bar in the trailer? I can't believe I'm forgetting, but there's some good ones out there,
Right.
and and then that's just that, and then I'm like, great, now I feel like Chinese food. Okay, Old Thousand,
Good
and
old
then-
house.
Yeah, good.
and then
Din Ho?
Wu Chow, yeah. I mean, and then even so they're the Asian delivery.
Oh, yeah. We
Oh,
had them
are
on.
you in one of their zones to be delivered?
Not really. I have to go pick it up.
but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is so good.
It's a good business model too.
It
for
is.
them.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
did the philosophy of so.
Yeah, it's a 4-part
series.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we broke down the
Tipping.
history of tipping,
Workplace culture,
their
ghost kitchens, and Chinese food in America.
there you
Oh,
go.
okay, yeah,
It's
yeah.
interesting.
Chinese food in
Yeah.
America is my favorite because it's the only ethnic food that was invented in America.
Yeah, Yeah, it's crazy.
right?
It's just kind of mind boggling because like most Americans don't know that.
Yeah,
They're like,
no.
oh, if I go to China, am I going to eat a bunch of egg rolls? Like, no,
No, you're not
Not
going to
really.
get General Tso's. You might get General Tso's chicken,
Crab macaroons.
but you're not going to get beef and
Cheese.
broccoli.
You might eat eel or something.
Yeah,
You know?
something crazy. Sea cucumber.
Yeah, exactly. And it's healthier. And then I go, there's times like, great, I wanted something else. Like, I like Indian food, but I don't really like go out for Indian food that often. Mediterranean's great. And then there's always the New American and the bistro, or not bistro, but what's the word I'm thinking of? Kind of, like the New American bar scene, like Dropkick and stuff like that, or Salty Sal. Salty Sal's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Also on the
Old-
east side.
yeah.
Harold does a great job over there, man.
And Tumble 22. I mean,
Oh,
good
yeah, hot
God.
chicken.
Man,
That's
it'll
sweeping
kill me,
America.
but it's good.
Yeah. Tumble
I've been-
22 how new are they?
Have
Because
you
they've
tried
been
about
3 years?
3
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Because
So they're
yeah,
new.
They
Yeah.
started in a truck.
truck.
They started in a
That's
truck,
good.
and then they went brick and mortar.
They're
Yeah.
up in Cedar Park too now.
yeah,
They
yeah.
got that new one. They opened during COVID, I think.
Yeah, they got one on Lakeshore, in the old Magnolia building, and then of course the original Burnett, and then
Didn't they get the Magnolia Cafe?
Yeah, Magnolia.
Oh, they
On the
did.
Lake Creek? Yeah.
We were just talking about
Yeah.
that because Pool Burger's over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Pool Burger called and Danny wants to go over there.
I want to go eat a pool burger.
Oh yeah.
Have you been to Bad Larry Burger? Have you tried the Bad Larry Burger?
No, not yet. No.
That's on our list too.
Oh,
We should
is
try
it?
and make that happen together.
Yeah.
We should totally.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I love burgers all the time. I mean, I remember when there was lines at Hop Dottie and they
yeah.
only had the
Yeah.
one, and then now they're just like, oh, Hop Dottie. Yeah, I mean, they're
Hot
still
Dottie,
great.
Little Dottie, yeah.
Yeah, they're all
They're
great.
good. They're good.
But there's so many burgers, and like I have burger roundups on the blog and stuff like that, pointing out my favorites. And
How about
every time I
Casino?
do one, Casino, oh man,
Can't go wrong.
yeah. They are. I love Casino because of the scene. It's like it seems like all the guys in the kitchen looks like they're out of prison or something.
Yeah.
But
I like that.
badass burgers.
Their bathroom could be a shout out in this podcast.
For sure.
The fact,
Party at the casino.
right. No,
Yeah.
the scene is cool. I love that place.
Yeah, I thought about doing like a burger event, but that's the complexities and the logistics is a little harder. I've thought about a lot of different events. And,
Maybe make it a slider event.
Yeah.
The slider tour.
It could be. Yeah. There's a lot of, when you talk to chefs, you're like, okay, if you could do this event, how could you do it? How many people is it to serve? And like the dynamics change when you have to have certain equipment on site. Like that's why it's hard to pull off a pizza event.
Yeah.
Because you can't have
yeah.
ovens
Cooking
everywhere.
pizzas. Sure.
Yeah.
So what are you cooking at home yourself ever?
I do a little bit. I mean, I get a lot of takeout nowadays, like everyone, but especially me because there's always something being thrown at me,
Right.
which is good.
So what's your favorite takeout?
So
Well,
they're made for it.
and they're great. Yeah, I mean, I have nothing to say bad about them. They're amazing. I don't know. I've probably eaten taco takeout more than anything.
Okay.
And then queso, and like I probably eat queso more than
Taco.
anything now. But yeah, like Pablo Viejo, or
Yeah, they're good.
they're right down the road from me on Riverside, so I go there pretty often.
Right.
Did I say Pablo?
Pueblo.
Yeah.
Pueblo.
And then like sometime you go to these little Mexican meat markets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I go
Michoacana.
I go to La Michoacana and get their chicharrones, like the big one. That's it's like that whole pork belly and it's
Yeah.
all fried. I chop that up and mix it into something, eggs or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I don't cook that much, but sometimes if I don't get takeout, I'll take something that I got from one time somewhere and then make some eggs out of it. Or
Oh, yeah.
like I do a pretty mean gumbo. That's one of my
Oh, you do?
best things. Yeah.
Oh, we did a little gumbo talk yesterday
Mm-hmm.
about the putting okra in.
Oh,
If it's
yeah.
a seafood gumbo, you leave the okra out.
Well, my differentiation is Creole and Cajun. You've got swamp and you got city. You
Yeah.
got fancy stuff and you got what you got available in the swamp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a big difference.
There is a big
Because
difference.
my grandmother, she's from France originally. I mean, she's passed away years ago, but when she grew up in Opelousas, Louisiana, they would make, a little bit. It was kind of a mix of both because Lafayette and Opelousas is kind of like center of southern Louisiana. And so you get some of the Creole and you get some Cajun influences in there.
I like that.
So she would make like, if she was like just we're making a gumbo tonight, it's got chicken and chicken bones and whatever. And then if she does a little more Creole, then like it's going to be a little thicker and she might change it up a little bit. And then sometimes she made a brunch gumbo where she used grits
In the gumbo?
instead of rice.
So that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a scoop of grits with the. Ooh, that sounds
Right.
good.
It's a little trickier because
With
you
a
got to
fried
make the
soft shell on top of it.
She didn't get that fancy, but yeah, like and as I grew up, I was like, oh, I can tweak some things. So I added like seared, pork belly
Oh,
and poached egg. Soft
in the
poached-
brunch gumbo. Oh, with the grits.
If you
What's
know
the
how
grits,
to
yeah.
make a good gumbo, you said.
Yeah,
You said.
That's a
Nice.
festival.
yeah. I
Gumbo Fest, yeah.
maybe coming next year. So, yeah,
I just came up with one. Call it Get Smashed.
get smashed.
What is
It's
that?
a slider and beer festival.
Oh, okay, nice. And you get smashed.
Smashed. I
Is it
got
smash
it.
burgers?
Oh, good.
That's
I like
not-
it.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea at all. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, look, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Yes,
Yeah,
it has.
I'm always here to talk about food. So next time you guys want to talk about whatever, you let me know.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely come back.
Yeah, I can even talk about movie theater popcorn if you want.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so
We're-
real quick, movie theater popcorn.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing to do at the movies with your popcorn?
Besides eat it,
Yeah. Well, it involves eating.
I have.
Do you
it's-
add anything
I'm
to
stumped
it?
on this one.
Do you add anything to it?
Well, I do
Oh.
like. So it really depends on if I go to a regular theater, like Regal or something. I don't really have any expectations. Just put butter on it and it's
Right,
fine.
right.
But then if you go to like Alamo, then I gotta get like the Parmesan and all that stuff that they have. Those.
So I like peanut M&Ms
Oh,
in my
okay.
popcorn because the popcorn's hot. You put the peanut M&Ms, it kind of melts the
Yeah,
chocolate.
yeah,
You
that's
get
a good
juicy,
idea.
You've had
sweet,
Garrett's,
salty.
right?
Oh, yes, Garrett's popcorn in Chicago.
So good.
I had it in the airport. It was great.
I used to put like what's the was it Goobers?
Sour Patch Kids.
No, I didn't. I did. It was always like it had to be chocolate. So sometimes I put Junior Mints.
Ooh, Junior
the
Mints?
gob-
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Junior Mints, and then the ones that have are like chocolate and they're caramel.
Okay,
like Milk Duds?
Milk Duds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those
Milk
are good.
Duds.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little tricky because you get like kernel stuck in
I
your
know.
teeth and
I
stuff.
know.
but-
Oh, no. And then the milk duds get stuck in your teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bad.
And then they get
Just
the
being
sugar
there
daddies.
all night. You'll be in bed, like, trying to brush it out. Like,
Yep.
can't
Get in a cavity. Yeah.
I want some popcorn and peanut M&Ms right now.
Actually, true story. A couple times during the pandemic, I stopped at a movie theater just to get popcorn.
Did you really?
No kidding?
Yeah.
Hey, there's
Whenever
nothing
they
wrong with
finally
that.
opened the theaters back up, I went and saw it at the
Oh, you been to the theater?
yeah, I went to the movie house, right? And they
Oh,
opened
yeah.
it back up. There was nobody in the theater but me and
Yeah.
my friend, and we watched the second Kill Bill.
Oh, cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd never seen Kill Bill on the theater. It was
Oh,
great.
really?
No.
Oh, wow. I saw both of those. It's that's something you definitely want to see. in a
It's
theater.
fantastic.
Kill
Yeah.
Bill's awesome. Quentin Tarantino's awesome.
Yeah.
He's telling us he's done. I don't know if he is.
I think
He
he's
says
got.
he's got one
I think
more.
he's got one more. Yeah.
But
Hopefully,
is it true?
I hope so. Because
You want him to go out in a bang.
yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was great.
Maybe that's what it'll be
Very
called, Out with a Bang.
Out with a bang.
Well, he might have, but he's still supposed to make that. He promised he was going to make a third Kill Bill
Oh, wow.
because remember when the daughter, Vivica A. Fox's daughter, she saw Uma Thurman kill her mom, and she said, "If you want to settle this when you're
Oh,
older, I'll
so
be
now
waiting."
she's older.
And then
Okay.
they both said like, "Oh no, we're gonna like follow this up later."
say that.
So it's almost been what, a decade or something. I mean, I want to see that.
Well, maybe, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, cool.
we can have a movie talk next time.
We can. Yeah. All right. Thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
We'll do it again.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Later.
Thanks.
Cheers, man.
Oops.